Hello everyone, David Mayo from MLive here with the king of the last second rewrite, Kyle Meinke. That used to be me. That's like this has been like rewriting an NBA game.
Dave, right? You have no idea how many lion stories there are out there in the ether.
Dead lion stories, stories that never saw the light of day. You look at this game, Kyle, I mean, they get outgained badly, way more first downs for Washington, 10 minutes more time possession for Washington, but they just kept shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, regardless of what Stafford did at the end of the game, Washington did plenty to win this game.
Right, well, they the two fumbles obviously hurt them, the two turnovers there. And in a game where I think the Lions only had about 45 offensive plays, Washington really controlled the clock. Those turnovers were key in this game for sure. But you have to give the Lions, I think, credit for taking advantage of the opportunities that are there. Because we hit them hard, right, for other deficiencies, particularly defensively. And they are there, and we saw them again today. And that's something to continue to be worried about going forward, particularly with the injury to Darius Slay. But you have Kerry Hyder recovering a fumble. You've got Tavon Wilson doing the same thing in the end zone. Nuance took advantage, and they got just enough offense in the end to win the game. This, I think, is kind of the hallmark of this Lions team. Maybe not good, but good enough the last 3 weeks.
Hyder also, of course, is involved in the key play when Cousins scores on the read option. He crashes from the end when obviously he was supposed to be the contained guy. And yet they come back to have 1:05 after that. Stafford executes big chunk plays right off the bat. He just seems to have an amazing calm in these situations and has grown so much in his years here.
Absolutely. I heard, I wasn't at the Kirk Cousins press conference, but I did hear that he had said that he thought they had won the game after that scramble. I'm just thinking to myself, there's 65 seconds left. We've seen Stafford do this 23 times in his career with fourth quarter comebacks, including 3 times this year, including each of the last 2 weeks. I mean, you have 3 timeouts. That's an eternity with a guy with an arm like that. And he went to work again. It was clinical. The way he dissected that, he made it look easy, and that's not easy. And what he did, it just looks cool, calm, and collected. And guys, I mean, Golden Tate and all these guys talk about just how confident he is, and you can understand why, because they've done it before. He just goes out there and says, "Hey, we're good enough to do this," and they do it. And that throw to Andre Roberts was huge. The one to Marvin Jones to get it going was huge. And of course, Stafford had, he moved the chains with 14 yards on the ground, something we've seen from him throughout the year. And I don't think you can really understate the effectiveness of his legs and continuing drives and continuing plays, and then just the throw to Bolden. I actually watched it, Dave, and it's a throw not many people can make. It was a laser. It was on a dime, and Bolden, give him credit too for getting in the end zone. So physical, finish off the play, and that was the win.
I wouldn't have given you a plug nickel for the chances in the last 65 seconds of this game of Kirk Cousins and Matthew Stafford making defining plays with their legs.
I'm not sure what a plug nickel is, but I'll agree with you. I think that sounds about right.
It's a nickel that's been plugged, Kyle. Doesn't do you much good. Stafford again said that he thought he threw interception potentially twice on the final drive. That he thought he overthrew. Andre Robertson might have hit the middle linebacker in the chest, and he also obviously had a tight window to Bolden. But on that play, you have to take your shot. I mean, Bolden's there. You have to make the throw and live with it.
Yeah, well, it's what Stafford said too. It's the time is draining. Got to score a touchdown. Got to go out swinging, right? And he's not taking pitches. He's going after it, and you like that. That's the confidence of a guy who has done it before. He's been around for 8 years. I mean, think about this. This was his 100th game. This was his 24th fourth quarter comeback. That's a quarter of his games. And I know the narrative is that he can't win the big game and can't win on the road. And, there are no playoff wins, and I know that. But the guy is clutch. 24 comeback wins for this franchise in 100 games. A quarter of your starts, you're doing something right. And he's got the confidence, and we're seeing it. And that play, throwing it to Bolden, I mean, that's a tight window. A guy who doesn't have confidence probably doesn't make that play. And he had the confidence he could go after it, and he has the arm to finish it up.
They've obviously had to change. No Amir Abdullah, no Theo Riddick, no Dwayne Washington. I mean, they've obviously had to, with the personnel changes in the backfield, they've had to alter their play calling a little bit. They don't have the same pass-catching threats out of the backfield right now, although Zach Zenner gave them some last week. This week we didn't see much. Have you have some appreciation for how they've had to go a different way?
I think Stafford won this game, but you have to give a huge assist to Jim Bob Cooter. We've seen that throughout the year, but what he's doing every week, he's taking advantage of the pieces that he has and putting the best positions to succeed. And you have to tip your hat. I look at I talked to Jim Bob in training camp, and he talked about how important Eric Ebron, the tight end, was in this offense. He wants versatile pass catchers everywhere, but that's especially true with that tight end down the seam. And he hasn't had Ebron for a couple of weeks now. I believe the Lions have targeted the tight end position 3 times total in the last 3 weeks. He's completely transformed what he wants to do at that position, and yet you still see Stafford putting on these kind of performances. I mean, they were down their top 3 running backs for the 3rd straight week, and they're still getting some resemblance of a running game. And whether that's Zach Zenner with some power rushes, or whether that's motioning Golden Tate into the backfield, and we saw that again today with a jet sweep to Tate that was very effective and led to a score. I mean, I give Cooter a lot of credit for not only designing an offense that worked for Stafford, but it seemingly works no matter what parts you interchange.
Lions are 4-3 now. They took care of their business. You don't get many opportunities in the NFL to play 3 straight home games, and they win them all. Completely recast the season now. It'll be a month before they play here again. Do you think this team has the gumption to get through, these next couple of road games in particular, and kind of stay the course over the second half?
I mean, it's difficult to say. I mean, these wins feel good, but it's so much easier to win at home than on the road. And you have to keep that in perspective. Well, I mean, you can't take anything away from the win against Washington, but I don't think LA is as good as what their record was when the Lions played down. They were 3-2, but played some crap teams in there too. So I don't think that they're any kind of powerhouse. Now you go on to the road. You play Houston first, who's playing pretty well, and then you play Minnesota, who I know lost today, but was undefeated before that, and just has a ferocious defense. And I think that could be a problematic matchup for the Lions because they have this offense, but if they stop the offense, I think the Lions will be stopped because the defense just isn't good enough to win games at this point. And so I think you need better balance from this team. That's something we haven't seen even today. There's a lot of stops and starts, particularly from the defense. I give them credit for bending and not breaking, although in the end they almost lost the game. And you needed more heroics from Matthew Stafford. I'm not sure if you can do this every week and sustain a playoff push, but they're in the conversation. That's a place we didn't think that they would be even 3 weeks ago, and we have to give them credit for that.
Big win for the Lions today, 20-17 over the Redskins, 4-3. Check back regularly with Kyle this week as they go into Houston, MLive.com/Lions. Check back with us regularly. Thanks for joining us.